The Kenosha man convicted of poisoning his wife, who then got his conviction overturned, is going to go to trial again next year. Rebecca Clough is live at the Kenosha County Courthouse, where a new piece of evidence could well be a wild card in the upcoming proceeding.
That's right, George. We're now learning about a book handwritten by Mark Jensen. Prosecutors say it will help prove his guilt. Plus, they want a letter written by his dead wife in this upcoming trial. Mark Jensen may have walked into the Kenosha County courtroom in shackles, but as it stands now, he is an innocent man. In January, a judge vacated his guilty verdict.
He's not a sentenced person at this point in time.
Jensen had been sentenced to life for poisoning his wife with antifreeze. Julie Jensen was found dead in her bed in 1998. It was first considered suicide, but later murder. Jensen's first trial was overturned by a federal appeals court. The prosecutor says he has handwritten a book and they want to use it in court.
We haven't completely gone through and evaluated how much of it is consistent or inconsistent with his many other statements.
Prosecutors also want a letter used again in this trial written by Julie, saying if she died, her husband should be considered the #1 suspect. The letter is the reason the appeals court threw out the guilty verdict in the first trial.
If in fact this court rules that the letter is admissible as a dying declaration, we would simply move to reinstate the conviction, because if it's admissible as a dying declaration, it comes into evidence, just as it did at the first trial.
I guess that's a rather novel theory that I've heard from Mr. Jamboys. I can't imagine that there would be case law that would support Mr. Jamboys' position.
Now, Jensen's next court date is July 12th. They're going to be deciding that upcoming issue. His bond was set back in January. That's $1.2 million. For now, reporting live in Kenosha, Rebecca Clough, today's TMJ4.
Hey, Rebecca, if Jensen has had bond set, why is he not out of jail now?
Well, actually, back in January, he was declared indigent. He has a public defender, so he can't pay that bond to let him out. Otherwise, he could be out right now.
All right. Thank you, Rebecca.